Good morning and welcome to Temple Buddhist Center Sunday Meditation Service. My name is Dave and I'm honored to be of service this morning. We hope that our service finds you happy and healthy, but please know that if you're struggling in any way, we hope that Temple Buddhist Center can be a source of refuge for you as we open our hearts to you and your loved ones. Let's begin this morning with some conscious breath work, taking a few moments to ground, to experience the body, and to breathe together. Conscious breathing is where you seal the mouth, breathe deeply through the nose, pause for a moment before releasing slowly so that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Let's begin. Breathing in, pausing just a moment, feeling the fullness of the lungs, and releasing slowly. And as you release, checking in with the body, just being aware of what is present and alive in the body right now. And a second conscious breath, pausing just a moment, ventilating this precious human form, and then releasing slowly. And as you release, see if you can release any worry or concerns from the week, all the energy of doing, going, striving, accomplishing. Just allow yourself a few moments to cultivate the energy of being, not doing. And a third conscious breath together. Holding for just a moment. And releasing slowly. And as you release, taking time to invite into your awareness the present moment, fully arriving in the here and now. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we like to begin our service with a chant. Chanting is an integral part of every tradition, and it's not about being a singer, it's about having a voice. And Victor will explain our chant today.
Thank you, Dave. Our chant this morning is Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. In Sanskrit, these are known as the Brahmaviharas, or the four heavenly abodes, sometimes also referred to as the four faces of the heart. Metta is love or loving kindness. Karuna is compassion. Mudita is joy, or more specifically, sympathetic joy, which means when we're in the presence of someone else who's experiencing joy, we feel it as well. And then upekkha is equanimity, that steadfastness it's kind of like a lighthouse that shines brightly in fair weather or foul. So metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. And so we begin with a conscious breath. Together. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. 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 With a smile. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. Once more. Metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha.
Here at TBC, we practice Western Buddhism. This is a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology. This new and exciting form of spirituality is dynamic, inclusive, active, and focuses on core Buddhist insights, mindfulness, meditation, and their practical application in our daily life. Our goal here isn't to get everyone to agree on one lineage or philosophy. Rather, it's on cultivating a shared experience of mindfulness, oneness, and love. Whether we are chanting, meditating, or sharing from the heart, we respect that you'll participate only at the level that feels comfortable for you. We take refuge in the three jewels and acknowledge these core values as expressions of the awakened mind: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We value awareness of our own Buddha nature as well as the Buddha nature of all beings, allowing a new perspective of this and every precious moment. The second jewel is the Dharma, the truth teachings that release us from fear and delusion and help us to realize the true nature of who we are. And Sangha, our spiritual community. This is an essential part of growth where we practice the teachings together and support each other along every step of the path. Let's just take a moment now to silence any electronic devices and prepare a meditative environment. And we will recite the prayer of refuge. We'll recite this together 3 times in honor of the 3 jewels. Together, in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened, through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened, through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened, through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. As we enter into a time of meditation, if you have an extensive practice, then I invite you to practice in a way that is fitting for you this morning. If you're new to meditation, we'll begin with an opening dedication. We will sound the bell 3 times. There will be a brief guided meditation, and then we'll spend approximately 12 to 15 minutes in noble silence. Let's begin by breathing together with a conscious breath. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness, transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow, and realize the true nature of who they are.
And as the sound of the bell recedes into the stillness, it guides us. It shows us the way. And whatever you need to do to find a new level of gentleness and ease, to partner with the body. If you need to take another conscious breath or adjust your posture, roll the head or the neck, whatever you need to do to help the body to partner with the body for a new level of ease, gentleness. And so as the breath settles into its natural flow, its natural rhythm, we can bring our awareness once more to the body, checking in to see if there are any points that are tense or contracted, remembering to release the forehead, unfurrow the eyebrows. The jaw is gentle and easy, the shoulders drop, and the belly softens and releases. And so, connected to the breath by being aware of the rise and fall of the tummy, the body is light, gentle, and easy. We can bring our awareness now to awareness itself, noticing when the mind is distracted by a sound in the room or in the hallway or outside, noticing when the mind is distracted by a sensation like hot or cold or a tummy rumble or an itch, and noticing when the mind is distracted by a thought or a string of thoughts. All these things, they just come and go. They rise and they fall. Our practice is cultivating what is it that they rise and fall into. Our practice is cultivating that spacious, vast, endless awareness like sky. Sure, there are clouds and birds and weather and things that come through, but we're more interested in the sky. Our practice is cultivating the knower, not the things that are known. And so, connected to the breath, the body is gentle, spacious, and light. The mind is clear, yet receptive to whatever might arise, and the heart is open. We can move more deeply now into our meditation. I close my eyes and I see clearly. I stop trying to listen and I hear truth. I am silent, yet my heart sings. I seek no contact and find union. I am still and move forward. I am gentle and need no strength. I am humble and remain whole, returning again and again to the breath, returning again and again home. So I invite you to remain in a meditative state, connected with the breath. The body is gentle and easy. And I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of sound, noticing the sound of my voice, or the sound of the air handlers, or any rustling in the room. And as you are aware of the sense door of sound, at the same time, can you keep a small amount of your awareness on that deep, still silence within? That stillness and that silence which is not dependent on external circumstances. And is always with us. Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of touch as you notice the feeling of your clothing upon your skin, or perhaps the feeling of the chair, the cushion beneath you. And as you become aware of matter, material, form, can you keep a small amount of your awareness on that which is formless? In other words, awareness of awareness. Can you be aware that you are aware? Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of sight as you slowly begin to open your eyes, just letting in a little bit of light, not focusing hard on anything. And as you become aware of sounds, as you become aware of sights and colors, when it all starts coming together, as you see people and stuff and things, can you at the same time see the space around them? Can you sense the space that they are occurring within? And the space within this room? Can you sense the space around our building? Perhaps can you sense the space around our planet as we hurl through space, rotating, orbiting at a fantastic speed? And finally, I invite you to bring your awareness to the breath as we take a conscious breath together, breathing in and releasing. And as you release, be present in the here, in the now, in this time, and in this place. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Allison. Someone asked me the other day why we bow after the meditation time. And that's to honor the noble endeavor that we embark on every time we go into meditation. I, as many of you know, speak to many people during the week here within the Sangha. Emails and text messages and one-to-ones and conversations and discussions about the practice. And every day I am absolutely amazed at the tremendous work that this Sangha is doing. People talk about experiences they have during the week, and some of them are very challenging and very difficult. And yet, after each report, they then talk about how the practice has really helped them to create space and to reframe the things that are going on, and then to share that with others. So I honor always always the hard work that this Sangha is doing, and am so very excited about this. Oh, forgot to turn there. And also, thank you. This morning I was gifted with a brand new headset microphone. Eric knows that I've been struggling with some of the other headsets, and so he brought me this really fantastic one that is really great. Thank you again, Eric. And of course, also welcome to everybody joining us at home in the PJ Sangha from literally all around the world. So as I was preparing this talk today, I noticed that because of the title, Buddhism and Why Fire Trucks Are Red, that I could actually divulge all the secrets of the cosmos, but if I did not answer the question, why fire trucks are red, no one's going to even notice anything that was discussed today. So here we go. I want to get this out of the way right away. Why are fire trucks red? And yes, thank you for asking that. And I promise that this will come full circle and will have tremendous Buddhist implications by the time we are done today. So here we go. When fire trucks originally came out, they had 4 wheels and 8 crew members. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 inches makes a ruler. Queen Elizabeth was also a ruler. Queen Elizabeth was also a giant ocean liner that sailed on the ocean. The ocean is filled with fish. Fish have fins. The Finns fought the Russians. The Russians are red. Fire trucks are always rushing to put out the fire. That's why they're red. Yes, wow is about all you can say, isn't it? So this funny little story I remembered, I believe it's actually credited to Monty Python. And so I remembered this story because of an experience that I had this week. And so I was actually sitting on my back deck meditating on Wednesday, I believe it was. And so I was in meditation, and at some point I became aware of the sound of a helicopter, at which point I noticed, as the helicopter sound was becoming more intense, I noticed the reaction of my body to look up as it, of course, got closer. And so as I looked up at this helicopter, I noticed that it was a medical helicopter, like a life flight. In that same instance, I then noticed how my mind quantified this, because it was the second medical helicopter that I had seen today. And in that same moment, I noticed that there was a feeling of unpleasantness arose within my body, because it seemed like there's an awful lot of life flights going on today. And so it quantified, and there was this unpleasant feeling that, oh, this is not very good. Next, a thought arose of tremendous gratitude for our public safety people who put their lives on the line each and every day. And in that same moment, I then noticed that there was this comparing mind that seemed to qualify what these public safety people do, putting their life on the line, flying these really complex helicopters. And then comparing mind arose, which exalted their efforts and at the same time minimized my own efforts in the world. And there was this comparing. And in that moment, comparing mind arose, and all of this happened within just a few nanoseconds. I mean, it just laid out, brrr, instantly. This all happened within just a few seconds. And the miracle here is not so much the phenomenon of thinking and feeling. The miracle is awareness. the ability to observe the activities of the mind-body organism as they unfold, close up and in slow motion. The practice helped me to see delusion and how I create my reality. And in that moment, I was able to drop it all and simply return to the perfection, to the present moment. In the same way that we become used to the sound of a train in the distance, or maybe you live close to a highway and there's all this traffic, and at some point you just kind of don't notice it anymore. In the same way that we get accustomed to these things, we become accustomed to mental noise, to chatter, to the coming and going of feelings, and to the reactivity to them. Our practice helps us to stabilize in stillness and to deconstruct our experience, to break it down into tiny little parts. And in doing this, we see what it is actually made of. And all the while, cultivating the observer, the witness. These two things, seeing the nature of mind and cultivating the witness, bring freedom from identification with form, liberation. The Buddha taught this over and over in what are called the 5 skandhas, or the 5 aggregates of clinging to human form, of identifying with human form. When the Buddha taught the 4 Noble Truths, he began with the first Noble Truth, that life is dukkha. This is often translated as suffering or stressful, or there's an unsatisfactory quality to life. And so the Buddha also used the word impermanent and conditioned. To be conditioned is to be dependent on or affected by something else, external things. The Buddha taught that the skandhas, the 5 skandhas, which is what I'm going to talk about next, are dukkha. The 5 skandhas are what keep us chained to this precious human body. So let's unpack the 5 skandhas, which you're going to see relates back to my experience, and of course back to our funny little story about why fire trucks are red. And so the 5 skandhas are these. And I even brought a visual aid. Ta-da! So number 1, form, or what's known in the Sanskrit as rupa. Rupa is form or matter, something material that can be sensed. In other words, a stimulus. Somebody says something. You notice the way your partner rolled their eyes, or there's a helicopter sound. That's the stimulus, okay? We stop right there. We become aware of there is a stimulus. Number 2, Vedana, or this is the physical or mental sensation that we experience through contact with the 6 faculties. So Vedana is, there's a feeling, okay? This often gets confused with emotions, but there is a subtle difference here, my friends. Emotions have a name, okay? There's fear, there's sadness, there's depression, there's anger. Feelings are before there's any concept of a label for it. Feelings are that reptilian brain Feelings simply have pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. That's it. And so they have a feeling quality within the body. Before the mind gets involved with dissecting, analyzing, synthesizing, everything that I was taught in my Psych 101 class, going through all of that. Feelings are right before that. And they simply have a feeling nature to them. So, in other words, it is the sensation experienced through the contact with the ears or the eye, the visible form, the nose, the tongue, the taste, the body with tangible things, or the mind with ideas and thoughts. So that is Vedana. So that's number 2, feelings. Number 3, the third skanda, perception. And kind of keep my little story about what I experienced kind of in the back of your mind as we go through these. Perception, or samana, or in Pali, sanya. Samana is the faculty that recognizes this. Oh, that's a helicopter, or that's sarcasm, or, that's the middle finger. Whatever it is that the mind is now recognizing and accessing previous foreknowledge. So boom, you are already now living in the past because you're connecting with whatever you've experienced in the past to this experience that you just had. So the third skanda is this word samana means knowledge that puts together. It is the capacity within this body-mind organism to conceptualize and recognize things by associating them with others. Almost 99.9% of the time, something in the past. I'm making this connection there and now. So we kind of bring the past with us. Number 4, the aggregate of mental formations, oh, it's getting juicy now, is associated with karma because volitional acts create karma. Samskara also contains latent karma that conditions our attitudes, our predilections, biases, prejudices. All of this belongs to this skanda, as do interests and attractions. So the perception and the mental formations, the thoughts about what I'm going to do about this. This, my friends, is where the stories show up. I'll give you another example. Do you remember that I had this feeling that, oh, this is the second life flight today. This is terrible. This is bad. Many people are suffering. That was a complete story. I don't know that. What if they're training today? And this was just a second helicopter pilot to go out and train. So you see, I made it all up. We are always making it all up. This is what Robert was talking about last Sunday when he talked about welcome to the grand illusion, the illusory nature of this life. We're making the whole thing up. Let's now go to the 5th skanda. The 5th skanda is consciousness, vijnana, or also sometimes in vijnana. So it's different. Pali and also Sanskrit share very, very similar. And so this is the reaction that one has of the 6 faculties and its biases, and one of the 6 corresponding phenomena as an objects. For example, oral consciousness, hearing has the ear as its basis and the sound as its object, then the mental consciousness. So we create our reality here. So, for example, think about Victor sitting on his deck, meditating, and for a few seconds, he was completely absorbed with the sound of this helicopter. Then he looked up, he was moved to action, he then created a story around it. There's our consciousness. We create our reality. Lost. I'm not present. There was nothing real about that moment. There was, as Robert talked about last Sunday, there is a reality, but you don't know that because you're caught up in your reality. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And so that's how we create our consciousness. That's how we create our reality. So why is this important? The Buddha wove his explanation of the skandhas into many of his teachings. The most important point he made is that the skandhas are not you. That's the most important teaching in understanding the 5 aggregates to clinging to human form, or the 5 skandhas. They are not you. They are temporary. They are also conditioned phenomena. Remember, you're accessing the past. So it's conditioned. So, for example, there's the old story of the soccer game. Everyone there is having a different experience. The referee is having a different experience than the little kid who's playing for the first time and is so excited, who's having a different experience than dad, who's in the bleachers screaming at the ref, who's having a different experience than the mom who's sitting out on the car trying to get bills paid. I mean, everybody at the game is having a completely different experience. They're all caught up in their own realities. And so these realities are temporary. They are conditioned by phenomena. They are empty of a soul or a permanent essence of self. When we realize these aggregates are just temporary phenomena and not me, awareness arises. Awareness is wisdom. We are wise. We are awake. We are all enlightened. We just don't know it because we're caught up in the 5 skandhas. Wisdom is our birthright. We don't have to obtain it. We are it. To the question of your life, you are the only answer. To the problems of your life, you are the only solution. With the help of a little navel-gazing, with the help of meditation, mindfulness, Sangha, our community, our teachings, our studies. So there is a great line that I want to close with from a wonderful teacher who died just a few years ago by the name of Kalu Rinpoche, a lovely Tibetan monk. And he said that we live in illusion and the appearance of things. There is a reality. We are that reality. And when you understand this, you see that you are nothing. And being nothing, you are everything. And that is all there is. Thank you. I ended on time, Dave. It's a miracle.
Let's just take a moment now and embody the teachings. Just take a conscious breath together. And as we move into our heart practice, which today is a Tonglen practice, some people may like to create an outward gesture, such as the Anjali Mudra, or placing hands palm up on your lap, or maybe just folding your hands together, or placing a hand over your heart. let's begin with a conscious breath together. And just rest your mind for a moment in a state of openness and stillness. Opening to basic spaciousness and clarity, vast, pure, and empty. And as we begin a visualization, work with texture. Breathe in feelings of heat, darkness, and heaviness, and breathe out feelings of coolness, brightness, and light, a sense of freshness. Breathe in completely, taking in a measure of suffering through all the pores of your body, and breathe out completely, radiating positive energy through all the pores of your body in all directions. Do this until your visualization is synchronized with your natural in and out breaths. Now focus on a person who may be struggling. It can be a friend, a loved one, someone on TV, a classmate, a coworker, or even a difficult person in your life. Breathing in any fear, anger, or delusion, and breathing out peace, compassion, and clarity. Letting your heart transform negativity into gentleness and ease. Now expand your compassion, make taking in and sending out bigger. Extend it out to all those who are in the same situation. All those who may be struggling with fear or hatred or addiction. Breathing in their confusion and breathing out peace and ease that surrounds them. Those who hurt you or have hurt others, do Tonglen for them, thinking of them as having the same confusion. Breathe in their suffering and send them relief. Those who are cold and hungry, breathe in their suffering and send warmth and ease. Breathing in, I transform negative energy. Breathing out, I share gentleness with the world. Breathing in, I transform darkness. Breathing out, I share light with the world. Breathing in, I transform hatred. Breathing out, I share love with the world. Breathing in, I transform suffering. Breathing out, I share compassion with the world. And a conscious breath together. And in the true spirit of dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, temple services are given freely. In the same way, if you choose to give, please give with a generous heart, meaning not in return for something that you've received here today, but so that others who may seek refuge can find it here in this temple with this sangha. Dana boxes are located at the back of the meditation hall and up on the upper level near the door. We'd like to extend a special thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers and to our TBC ambassadors, those who have committed to regular electronic donations. It's not about the amount, it's just that the monthly giving helps us to set a budget here at TBC. If you'd like to become an ambassador, You can just point your camera at the QR code on the little cards in the seat backs in front of you. Or you can come by the website, templebuddhistcenter.com, and click on the Love Offering button. Thank you to Victor for sharing your wisdom with us today, and to Christine for your beautiful music, and especially to all of you for joining us here today and sharing your heart and your practice with us. And we will close our service here in just a moment with the Bodhicitta dedication, which we will recite one time. And after that, if you'll stick around for just a moment, Victor has a few announcements for upcoming events. I think he's just about got everybody. All right. So now the Bodhicitta dedication, which we will recite one time together. May the pure, brilliant sun of Bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And with our hands together in front of our hearts, let us go forth from this place, entering each moment in innocence, guided by the wisdom of our hearts. And as we open our hands, open our eyes, shine our light into the world, namaste.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everyone, so much. Just a quick reminder, delicious hospitality downstairs. There's tea and coffee, water, delicious crumble cookies. Thank you, Carrie, so much for taking such good care of our little Sangha. Also, don't forget our lending library right over here on the corner. We've had lots of new books dropped off and many wonderful magazines that have fantastic articles in them. So please, by all means, check out the lending library. And as always, there's a post-service discussion group. Both you can access it online by just going to our website, go to the calendar, choose today, and you'll see it. It'll pop up there. And as you guys get some cookies or some tea, the post-service discussion group is at the end of the hallway, right outside the meditation hall doors. Just go right down to the end of the hall. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to share with other members of the Sangha how the teachings apply to your life and how our Sangha has such a depth of practice. You'll hear from people who've been practicing for decades who can also shed some light on various practices and techniques or normalized experiences that you've had. And each Sunday at 1 o'clock, on the first Sundays we have interplay. On second Sundays is seminar or meditation workshop. And on third Sundays, it's authentic relating. And so on fourth Sundays right now, we don't actually have anything. So if you think of something, ice cream social, some great ideas like that, let me know. Also, don't forget, right outside on the counter out front is our sign-up sheets. We've got a newsletter there, volunteer opportunities, and our Temple Buddhist Center store is now open, up and running online. And Liz said that it has been brisk business. So we're getting the Temple Buddhist Center logo out there around Kansas City so people can find us. And then finally, we have our announcements. I'll just leave this up here for you so you can take a picture of it. So lots of cool things coming up. I'm going to let you guys in on a little hint, a little secret. I spoke with my friend who used to every year bring the Drepung Gomong monks to Kansas City, and he called me and said they're coming back this year. So now that the COVID, I know, it's so exciting. So I told him we want him here for a week. They're going to build a gorgeous sand mandala. They'll be doing chanting. We might be able to talk them into an evening where they make dumplings. So we'll see if we can get him to do that. Karen remembers. They're really delicious. And, of course, they also bring a little store with them. I understand that this is a way for them to raise money for their monastery, but it is such a treat to have the monks here with us. So really really looking forward to that, and I will have an announcement as soon as we solidify the dates that they're going to be here. And we've got some other special guests coming to do a retreat. Mid-America Dharma, Deborah Helsner-Ratner will be doing a 2.5-day non-sequestered retreat, so it'll be downstairs in Unity Hall. So an opportunity to meet with some of these wonderful traveling teachers who come through Kansas City and bring with them their depth of practice and their knowledge of the Dharma. So wonderful things coming. Thank you all so much for being here. As you go into your day, I wish you peace, blessings, and shade.